What's up? Shut that off. Let's see, am I set up correctly? Okay, okay. We're sitting in direct sunlight. We got good sunlight. We're definitely running on some great Wi-Fi. And I'm gonna wait like about a minute or two just to see who comes into this live. This is basically a casual. I like to do my Q&As casual. You know what I mean? Um, we'll touch base in a little bit. How's everybody doing tonight? Don't forget when you're in the live, don't forget if you love the hustle, you support me, please make sure you smash that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Just gonna give it like a minute here. Man, I've been so extremely busy, as I'm sure everybody is, and I I don't know. It's been Prime Day. Today's Prime Day part two, right? Yesterday was the first Prime Day that was liftoff. Today is the second Prime Day, and we're just going to give it about 30 more seconds, and then um, we'll get into what I wanted to come on here for. Talk about a Q&A. Feel free, if you guys are already here, you don't want to wait the minute, feel free to drop your questions, comments in the chat below. I will be sure to try to answer everybody's question. Um, yeah, just going to give it about 30 more seconds before we hop into it, and people will join as as we go along. We should have some like elevator music or something like do 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 do. No, I don't know. Um, I love making my lives fun. You guys know me. I always talk about being real, transparent. I'm a goof. It is what it is. Like me for me. Don't like me. I don't care. Whatever. It is what it is. Um, but I'm always going to be me. So I am going live right now, kind of unannounced, last minute kind of thing, because the past couple videos I've uploaded, I seem to get a lot of feedback and there's a lot of questions. And I try so hard to answer all of them. I try to comment, reply on everybody's comment. And I think I'm just going to go live at least once a week, once every couple days or whatever. So that way you can ask me and I can explain this. Because sometimes there's some questions that require more than just one or two sentences. Sometimes it needs to be this long, and I'm not trying to type that long. You know what I mean? So this way is going to be more interactive. That way you can ask your questions. Hopefully I can answer your questions. Because listen, let's face it. I haven't been in the game 10 years, 20 years. I'm going on my third year of reselling and running wholesale. I'll give you a quick rundown for anybody that doesn't know. I go by Richie Hustles. I started selling books, transitioned into RA, which stands for Retail Arbitrage, which consists of going into a Walmart, Target, other discounted stores, or any store for that matter, trying to find profit using the Amazon seller app and other third-party apps to see if we can sell that for profit on the Amazon marketplace. I do not sell on eBay, but I do sell a little bit on Mercari. And what I like to do is I like to take all of your questions and answer them. So let's hop right into it because I already see a bunch of questions coming in. I don't want to waste anybody's time. We're here for Q&A. Let's see. Hit the like button. I appreciate it. What's up, eBay addicts? Go check him out if you haven't. He's interviewing a lot of top resellers, including myself. Check that out on his page. How can I start reselling but with no money? Okay, Jessa. So this is a great question and not an uncommon question. The first thing you could do is if you're looking to reselling and you don't require any kind of platform, you can always go to Craigslist. You can go to Facebook Marketplace, and they do have sections that are titled free, right? One of the ventures that I wanted to do when I was starting out is I wanted to refinish furniture. So I would on trash days around my town, I would find out when trash days were. I would go around, check out like bureaus, all this stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna refinish them, repaint them, resell them, whatnot, right? That's neither here nor there. but I explored the free. The point is, you can go to Craigslist, you can go to Facebook Marketplace. Any one of these marketplaces has a free section. You can do that. Some yard sales, honestly, when you go to at the very end, you might be able to score some stuff that they just want to get rid of and unload, that they don't want to repack up and bring back. You might be able to score something there too. That's how you can start for free or with no money. What's up, Thrift and Flip? You get items for cheap. I just bought video games for 50 cents at the pawn shop. Yep, that's true. You can a buck at Savers or $1.50 at Goodwill. You can get video games. Couple of thrifters. How you doing? Logan, what's going on? I'm selling books on eBay. I can also who's that? I also cannot go out. Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, if you can't go out, I would definitely look for maybe some kind of like delivery service. I'm not sure if you can find a man or a woman that offers some kind of like pickup service. I don't know if this is a service that's offered on Craigslist or nothing, but maybe this is something to look up or consider. Um, Maybe that way they can bring it to you. You know, like you can always find like handyman stuff and all. Maybe there's a delivery service that's if you tell them, hey, I need you to pick this up at this address or whatnot, maybe they could bring it to you. What else? Let's see what we got. Guys, drop your questions in the chat. We're doing a Q&A. I get a ton of questions on my videos, so I thought I would go live to try to answer a lot of questions. We have a lot of people joining. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you being here and taking the time out to join the live. So thank you. I may do a live, like a hustle live, maybe coming tomorrow in either Target or Walmart. We'll see. I got to see what's going on during the day. I got to see what comes in the mail, what has to be packed, prepped, and whatnot. But yeah. 10 people. I'm gonna start vlogging and showing people how to sell on Amazon, on YouTube. Any tips? Yeah, Logan. So, what I would do is the one thing that stunted me at first was I thought to myself, who's going to pay attention to me, right? I kept trying to tell myself, who's going to do this, who's going to do that, right? And then I changed my thought process and I said, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to simply document what I'm doing and go from there. So, what you can do is you can start off with your phone for the longest time. Right now, I'm recording. I'm live on. This is my Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G. Try saying that name 5 times fast. I'm doing a live on my phone. I do all my hustle lives on my cell phone. I really like vlogging on my cell phone. Although I did buy the Sony ZV-1 with the wireless mic. I'm gonna mic up for that on a couple of videos because the sound quality is way better than talking, without a external mic. But I would just say, just do it. Just start. Like if you look, I have my very first video on my channel, and I look at it now and I'm like, oh, like I almost want to delete it, but I won't because I want to keep it there as a reminder to say, hey, you know something? When I have a lot of subscribers and I want to look back on that day, I can say to myself, look, I just started. Look how horrible my video was. You know what I mean? I think one of the things that also hinders vlogging is people need to accept that their first couple of videos, they're gonna suck. It is what it is. When you first start, your videos are gonna suck. When you do it for a year or two, some videos might suck. The point is you want to document your journey. Don't worry about what I have to do. You just want to think about documenting your journey. And as long as you do that, you're doing what you got to do. I try to document every time I go out to stores sourcing. I try to pull out my phone and show everybody when I'm shopping. Sometimes I don't, just for the simple fact I'm so backed up on videos. I have a lot of content to edit and release, but just start documenting. You know what I mean? The one thing I could say is don't worry about anything else. Just document your journey, and people will start wanting to view that content. Let's see. We have another question. How do you determine whether to sell something FBM or FBA? That is a great question. So just try to stick with me. And if I lose you, let me know and I'll try to bring it back, okay? Because it's not just a simple answer. So I guess, well, there is a simple answer, but I'm just not sure it's the answer, okay? So the simple answer is items that don't have a lot of sellers or that you want to move quickly, FBM. As long as your profit margin can support it, FBM. Okay. FBA, when you have big quantities, you want to send it in, you want Amazon to take care of everything. Maybe there's a few sellers on there you want to compete with because a lot of times FBA, you get the Prime, although you can get Prime shipping with FBM as well. And just for the record, I know everybody, when we talk about FBM and all that stuff, FBM, there's no such thing as FBM, right? But we as resellers assume it's fulfilled by merchant, which is us, and fulfilled by Amazon, which is Amazon. The just for everybody out there, just in case you're looking for it on the Amazon seller website, you're never going to find FBM anywhere. Okay, what Amazon calls it is MF, merchant fulfilled. That's what it's. I just want to set that straight too. I call it FBM as well. And what I would say is how I determine it. So there is a product that say sells for $25. It's got 3 sellers on there. I buy it for $5. It sells for 25, right? There's a big profit to be made, and it sells hand over fist. Not a lot of people on the listing. I'm going to send it directly to customer, and I'm going to be paid for that item 7 days after the receipt of delivery to the customer. So a lot of people don't know that. So you get paid 7 days after the delivery of the customer. So now think of this. On Monday, all right, I have the same product. I have 5 items of one product, and then I'm sending, just say, I would never just send 5 items to FBA, but I'm sending 5 items to FBA, okay? I send them off in the same day. That person gets those items that I sent FBM in 2 days. So now it's Wednesday. Okay, 7 days from Wednesday, I'm going to be paid from those items as long as there's no return or there's no issue, right? Now, on Monday, I sent FBA those same items, all right? They're not going to get there till like Thursday, maybe checked in Friday, right? Then if I have to pay Amazon to prep them, it's a longer process. It's going to take almost, right now, my items are taking 2 to 3 weeks just to be fully checked in, okay? And that's okay. I expect that. But what I would recommend doing is if you have enough profit margin in between, you know this product sells hand over fist, I would do FBM if you didn't have to compete with a lot of resellers. FBA, if you have I've sent 800 of a single product, I'm sending that FBA. I don't want to sit and pack 800 products and send it myself. I just don't want to do that. Another example is a high ticket item, right? So there was a security system that I found at Walmart for $89. It sells on Amazon for $350. I was going to make $265 profit. Well, not profit. Take out my goods. It was going to be 100 something profit, right? Instead of sending that one item into FBA, I decided to list it as merchant fulfilled, and it sold like within like a couple hours. It was ranked like number 92. It was a high flyer. It was a quick seller. So what I did.
Can I come in for a sec?
We have a guest appearance.
Hi everyone. I will be gone in a second.
Anyways, I'll keep going. So what I did was I sold it merchant fulfilled, and I made that profit margin. I got rid of that item. Now, if I took that item and sent it in FBA, it would take almost 2 weeks just to get checked in. You're talking 3 weeks maybe to get it sold. So I took that one item, sold it merchant fulfilled. I did the research, looked at Keepa, and made it happen. You know what I mean? We made the sale. It's so selling something merchant fulfilled and FBA definitely comes with experience. It's so subjective. There's no right or wrong answer with when you should do it or not should do it, right? But when you shouldn't do it is if you're making $2 or $3. If you have 500 items and you're making $1 or $2 profit, I don't know. I wouldn't do merchant fulfilled. You know what I mean? I would send that all in FBA. All the fees are listed there. You don't have to worry about shipping costs. Everything is right there for you. It's so subjective, in my opinion. You know, if I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong. Or if you have a different experience, anybody out there watching, let me know what your experience is with merchant fulfilled and FBA. What do we got here? I have a new icon up here. Oh, Logan with the 99-cent super chat. Thanks, brother. Logan, you are the absolute first person to ever throw me a super chat. Much love. Thank you, Logan. I appreciate it. Let's see. Asit says, Richie, I just started RA and came across your channel, and I have become your fan. Thanks, brother. My question is, what minimum amount in profit you look for arbitrage items, toys and other categories? Okay, let's get into it. So my rule of thumb is if I spend 10, I need to make at least 5. So we're looking at 50% ROI. And I'm not talking about, and there's a reason for that. Some people don't mind 20, some don't mind 30%, and that's okay. If these are high flying items and whatnot, if these items sell in hand over fist, if you buy an item for 10 and you're gonna make 4 and you can buy like 200 of this item and they're flying, it's worth it, right? But if they're not flying and you're gonna make $2-3 profit, is it really worth it? You're gonna pay shipping. And shipping can be, bulk shipping to Amazon can be anywhere between 25 cents to $1, depending on what you're sending, how much your boxes are going to weigh. So generally, I like to do anywhere from 50 to, I like to even double up. That's my thing on my channel. When we go double up, I can't insert Sir Mix-a-Lot in this live, but if I could, he'd be there, okay? If an item's selling for 20, I like to make 10. If it's selling for 50, I like to make 25. But if it's a high flyer, I'll sacrifice 50 to make 20. You know what I mean? Or maybe 15, maybe. It just depends. You know what I mean? Like right now I'm thinking I dropped the ball to go to Walmart, and I might go there after. I was talking to the guy I know down in electronics, and there's an item that's normally priced $299, and it's going down 50% off to $150. Now Amazon, I can make $265. It sells for $318, I think it was, on Amazon. Okay, and I was going to take home $265. So I was going to sacrifice $150 to make back $265, which leaves me with a $115 profit. That's 115% ROI. That's a huge. It's like a no-brainer, and it's a high flyer. Rank 92. I do all my homework. It sells. There's so many things. So generally, I like to look for 50 to 100 percent. I'll take 20-30%. It just depends. It just depends on the product. Depends on what it is. Depends on the rank, how often it sells, how many competitors. There's so much. There's so much. D Middleman, what's up, brother? Hello. Heather Ramos says, did you start off buying in bulk? What is your process? How did you start and get where you are at? Great. So I guess it's story time, right? Well, not story time. So starting off buying bulk, no. Amazon, I used to sell on eBay a while ago, okay? And I started watching some reseller videos. Shout out Reezy Resells and some other resellers out there. And I said to myself, at the time, books were it before this whole pandemic and libraries closed. Books were it. I said to myself, I think they're lying. I don't know if they're making that much money. So I took $8. I went and bought books, and I started buying. I flipped that. Everything happened. I made $50. Turned 50 into 142. Turned 142 into 410. I remember these figures like it was the back of my head. Eventually, when I hit 1,000, I was like, okay, maybe there's something going on here, right? So to answer your question in a little shorter scale, I started off with books, not in bulk. I started off going to libraries every weekend, sometimes 2 libraries, sometimes 4 libraries a weekend. Dirty ass libraries with dirty ass books, grinding, destickering, cleaning, like that like. And I have bad sign. I'm allergic to dust, so you can imagine that. Like I'm allergic to dust mites, so, which is dust pretty much, which is basically anything around me I'm allergic to. You might even be able to hear it in my nose right now. See that? Oh, no good. Allergies suck. But I used to sell just books, and what happens is you need to get Amazon to trust you, basically, right? Amazon has to trust you. Amazon has the best name in the game of e-commerce. There's a reason why they are the largest e-commerce seller site in the world. They have to trust you. They're just not going to let, Joey Bag of Donuts come in here and sell all these high-end prices that are super popular to screw over the client, which screws over the company and whatnot. So what I believe is sell what you like and sell a lot of it. Sell what you can. Don't focus on things you can't sell. Focus on what you can sell and sell a ton of it. Because what's going to happen is Amazon's going to see your numbers go up. Amazon's going to see your sales go up, your units go up, everything's going to go up, and Amazon's going to be like, okay. Like, for instance, I just got on Gated and Baby Alive. I've been doing this almost 3 years. Baby Alive, I just now was able to sell it. I'm still gated in Sesame Street, Nickelodeon, like other categories and name brands. But the name of the game, and I'm not sure if I'm getting off track, but let me just reread the question. Sorry, I get passionate about this stuff. You know what I mean? What did you start buying in bulk? What is your process? How did you start? Yeah, get to it. So basically, what I did was as soon as I hit $1,000 in selling books, I took $100 and I said, all right, I'm going to allocate $100 into RA, anything Walmart clearance or Target clearance or anything that's retail arbitrage. And then I would take that, and I was still buying books, and then I would just slowly roll into RA. And then I kind of exited books for a little bit. I still stayed with retail arbitrage, but then I started getting into wholesale. So I exited books a little bit, was 100% RA for a little while, and then started, dribbling into wholesale, which I now do, which is probably about, 60, 70% of my business is wholesale. And the other percentage is RA. I still love RA. There's a ton of deals. RA is such a crazy business. Excuse me one sec. RA is such a crazy business, especially in Q4. I haven't done books in a long time. I mean, I do books every now and then, but I think one of the most important parts of and look, I'm no rock star, right? You know what I mean? It's fun to joke and stuff. I'm no rock star. You know what I mean? I'm a family man, just like a lot of you guys out there. I'm just doing what I can do with the knowledge that I've acquired to try to make my business better, my life better, my family better. And look, I'm just a normal dude trying to make that money. So that's it is what it is. Where I got to today. This is still a long journey. It's funny because you're gonna laugh. One of my inspirations, and if anybody wants to know why, they can hit me offline because it'll be too much to explain here. One of my inspirations is Dr. Disrespect. That gamer. He's got the mullet, the glasses, right? This guy is the most genius person. If you break things down, this guy is 100% a genius. Okay. One of the things Dr. Disrespect says, he says that he's at the tippity top of the mountain and he's only halfway up. Okay. And sometimes when we think, and to put that into context, when you think you're at the top of your game, you have to understand there's so much more to get into and to do. So I like that quote that he uses. Let's see. Gerald Parr, love your videos. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Like the Johnny Bravo avatar. Let's see. Pyro Evolved. What's the most money you've lost on an investment? Ooh, stabbing deep with these questions. Um, okay, let's talk about it. So one of the I thought I'd get brave and I thought I would start ordering from China and using Alibaba. Oh, sorry. And start ordering from Alibaba, okay? And I ordered two products from Alibaba. One product is great. I still order to this day. The other product I got burned on, and I got burned bad. Um, to me, at the time, it was bad. You know, there's a lot of resellers out there that make big money, so the amount that I'll tell you might not seem that big, but any money lost is too much. Okay, and I ordered a product from China. I tried to confirm, and this was a mistake I made. I'll get into it in a minute. I did the chat. I talked to the person. I said, "Hey, is this product the exact product that's on your website that's pictured? The exact, like from being in English, from the design on the box. Is this the exact product?" Yes, no problem. Blah blah blah. Okay, great. They sent it to me. I open up the box. It was misspelled. It was like the printing on it was smudged. It wasn't. There were missing icons on the box. It was bad. Um, it was about $760 that I got burned. That I still have these items in my garage that I don't want to throw away because I'm so attached to it that I'm either trying to push them out for dirt cheap and make a little something on it, or honestly, I'm just gonna have to either give them away or something. But um, I'd say almost 800 bucks I got burned, where I've made back pretty much zero because I can't sell it because they're counterfeit goods. If you're gonna buy anything from Alibaba, I don't care how much they want for a sample. You need to buy a sample first, and that's the mistake that I made. I didn't ask for a sample. I took somebody's word. I took somebody's word that this was the product that was going to be given, and can't do that in business, man. You know what I mean? Everything's cutthroat. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Get a sample if you're going to order from Alibaba, or just don't even order from Alibaba. How's that? Unless you're going to do private label. Let's see. We got some questions here. Once I get ungated in Mattel, it will be on and popping because I have bought a lot of it in the last 2 years. Yeah, so fun fact, I'm still gated in Mattel. Am I still gated in Mattel? I think I'm still gated in Mattel. Nope. Maybe. I like Mattel. Now I have to check because now that I'm not going to be able to check because I'm on live where my account is. Anyways, I might not be gated in Mattel. There's a couple of brands that I'm looking to be ungated in. Mattel might not be one of them, even though I can sell Barbie. Barbie? Let's see. Sivana B says, and to piggyback off that question, what's the longest an item has sat in the Amazon warehouse? What is the average time your items sit? Yeah, so that's a great question. So generally, I like to sell my items within 30 days. 60 days, I get a little nervous, and 90 days, I start thinking about bringing it back. Um, the longest I will let an item sit is 6 months. I won't let an item sit more than 6 months, just because sometimes items can be seasonal. Um, I won't let it sit for 6 months. If it's going on to 6 months, on that 181 day, I'll recall it back and I'll try to push it on Macari. I'll hold on to it. I'll try to figure out how to sell it somewhere else. I might even send it back in if metrics get better on that product. It just depends. Generally, I like to sell my items before 30 days, and then between 30 to 90 days, I start monitoring. Let's see. Thank you. I got Keepa, but honestly, I have no idea what I'm looking for. Confused with what sells and what profit margins are. I went to Walmart and half the stuff was gated. There was school stuff. Yeah, so Keepa can be confusing, but if you're looking, a couple things you want to make sure if you're sending FBA, you want the FBA offers checked, you want sales rank checked, you want buy box checked. Okay. Basically, you want Keepa, and I don't know if I can pull up a Keepa graph to show you guys on here. Just real quick. Let me see if I can pull up Keepa for a second. Because maybe I can show it on the live. I can give you an idea of what a really good Keepa chart looks like what a graph would look like. It's very easy to distinguish a good Keepa chart from a bad Keepa chart just by looking at it. Obviously there's some more information you want to retain besides this one metric that I'm going to show you. But generally, if you hold on, give me 1 second. Basically, where is it? So this, if we do, all right, so on this phone, just to give you an idea, like this is a pretty decent Keepa chart, okay? It's got a lot going on. Now, how do you distinguish that? Well, when you're looking at, you have almost like a legend over here, okay? And like, see pink with a buy box, that tells you, it says where the pink dot is, it says buy box. So over here, you want to correlate it with the buy box. The new is the orange, so the triangle's orange. Basically, you want this graph to be up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, that's tracking sales rank. Generally, it's a general, but not a rule of thumb. But when that graph goes down, it's usually the item is selling. Okay, what a bad Keepa graph is, I mean, let me say, a bad Keepa graph is gonna be something that looks, let me see if I can pull up, if I can remember what something like real crappy is. Let's see, I remember there was like this old PJ Masks toy that was horrible. And all right, perfect. So this Keepa graph is horrible for a couple of reasons. One, ready? One, there's no sales rank data. Now, if I go over here and I look, buy box, new third-party FBM, Amazon new use, there's no sales rank data. Okay? Plus, that orange on the screen, that means Amazon's on the listing. You don't, I mean, listen, you can get on a listing with Amazon if you can compete with Amazon's price, but generally you can't compete with Amazon's price. This is not a good looking graph because there is no graph. Capiche? So you don't see any data there. Sometimes it doesn't mean that the item doesn't sell though. There could be a couple reasons that there's no info. Maybe the item has been out of stock for a while and there's no data on it because nobody's had it to sell. There's a bunch of different, like, when you go to statistics, there's a graph called statistics, and you can pull up the average, the highest, the current, the lowest. You can pull up all this data. Now, I don't know if you see this backwards or not. To me, it looks backwards, but to you, it might be okay. But there's a lot of data that you have to look at when considering Keepa. It's not just about sales rank, because even if there is no graph, it doesn't mean you shouldn't sell it. It just means there's not enough data. But you got to research. You know what I mean? When in doubt, zoom out. You know what I mean? Look at if you can't look at a 90-day window, look at a 1 year window. A lot of times you'll see this item might have been selling hand over fist, but below it, it tracks the amount of people that are selling it. And, all of a sudden the amount of people dropped off. So now nobody's selling the product, so there's no data. So obviously there's no 90-day data because nobody sold it in friggin' 100 days, okay? So there's a lot of, different things that are involved in Keepa. And maybe I could do a Keepa video where I kind of explain what I look for in Keepa, because look, I'm not a guru when it comes to Keepa. I just know some basics that may help you in that. We got 30 people on the live. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Guys, if you're just hopping into the live, do me a favor, smash that like button. Let me know that you're down with the hustle and that you're enjoying this live with this Q&A. We're doing a casual Q&A. Don't be afraid to ask any questions. Please drop your questions in the comment below or in the chat, whatever. The chat, because I can't read the comments. Drop your question in the chat, and I'll try to answer it. We're going to keep going. Let's see. First, thank you for sharing your knowledge. What did you do before you became a reseller? What's up, Hustle Monkey? I kind of like that, Hustle Monkey. So I worked in the financial industry, the banking sector, and yeah, and I still work from home. I still work from home. With this whole pandemic, I'm fortunate enough to work from home and try to run the business. Let's see. A sample and an inspection. Yeah. Are you married? Halloween 365. Am I married? I am a married man. Yes. Last question. Why Mercari over Poshmark? No preference. Poshmark is or has been more geared towards clothing, sneakers. I know they got into home decor late last year or last year, whenever. And honestly, I haven't used that platform to sell some items. I did sell one or two items in the home decor category. I just prefer Mercari because it has more of a marketplace feel. It's all what you're used to. You know what I mean? I don't think I prefer one over the other. It's just that I use Mercari because that's what I'm used to. But there are some items that aren't moving on Mercari right now that I have considered listing on Poshmark. I just have to do it. It's just a lot. You know what I mean? It's a lot. When you work in multiple platforms and you're one person, it gets to be a lot. Doing these videos, focusing on Amazon, being a family man, working, there's just a lot going on. So no preference. I just happen to list on Mercari because it has more of a marketplace feel. Stu, what's up? Can you make a video on how to read Keeper? Yep, I just answered that. I am going to make a video on what I look for when using Keeper. What percentage of the products you buy don't make a sale on average? Yeah, so I think this kind of ties into what I have recalled, what I let sit. So generally, I try not to make that mistake, but occasionally it does happen. I would say maybe a few percentage points I have to recall. If I had to recall, I mean, I'm pushing like 3,000 products a month or more, and if I had to recall a lot of that, even just 1% would be too much. So I think I'm doing pretty good on that aspect. When I do get returns, I do relist them, or I send them in on Mercari. Depends on, a lot of times I recall items. It's not because they didn't sell. It's because they're in stranded inventory. Maybe I messed up the label. Maybe the label didn't print it out so it could read clearly. These little hiccups kind of cost you stranded inventory. My biggest problem is cash flow. I always have to leave a lot of product that I find. Listen, Gerald, it's the one thing I pride myself on, and it was creating cash flow. How did I create cash flow? Let me tell you something. If you're like me, when I first started reselling, you work your job. It doesn't matter whether you make $25,000 a year or whether you make $100,000 a year. Okay. A lot of times people are living paycheck to paycheck. More money, more problems. P. Diddy said it best. It is the absolute truth. The more money you make, the more money you're gonna spend. It's it's subconscious. It's just something we do. Okay. We live paycheck to paycheck. And when I wanted to really generate more money for my business, what was I gonna do? How could I take money from my current job and allocate it into something? I had to leave items on the shelf all the time. You know what I did? I said, I need to create cash flow. How am I going to do that? You know what I did? I started driving Uber Eats after work every single day, literally every single day. On the weekends when I didn't work, I was driving from 7 a.m. till 9 at night, literally. And all that money from Uber, I would dump into the business until I didn't have to drive anymore. That's just, you just got to create cash flow. Another way you could do it is I don't recommend taking out debt, but and especially when you first start, I don't recommend taking out debt. But if you become confident and you start to do either wholesaling or items that are gonna sell, you could always look at a small loan, small business loan if you have a business, that type of thing. You could start, if you have credit card, maybe take out a credit card. But again, I don't advocate taking out debt to at first. If you're going and you're moving and you got this thing down pat, you've been doing this for a year or two, and you want to take out a business loan, then you know, then by all means do it. You're gonna do what you're gonna do. But create cash flow. There are plenty of things you could do out there to create cash flow. Why did you stop selling on eBay? I'm not crazy about it. I'm not crazy about their return policies. It's just I got burned a little too much, left a real sore taste in my mouth. I'm stubborn like that. I don't know. Not crazy about eBay. You're doing great. Such encouragement to us hustlers. I appreciate that, Heather. Thank you. Guys, we got about 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to head downstairs and eat my dinner. We've been going for over 40 minutes. We're going to make this up to 45. Let me answer a couple more questions here. What's your favorite category to sell on Amazon? I'm about to get ungated in toys for Q4. So toys are definitely my favorite. It's the most fun. It's definitely, for me as a collector, I love toys. I have the most knowledge in that. Books, I like books too, but books are dirty. My allergies, again, going back to that story. Toys are definitely my favorite. We appreciate you, Richard. Hey, I appreciate you too, man. eBay addicts in the place, man. I appreciate you. Thank you. Do you sell items on eBay as well? Nope. Don't sell on eBay. Leave a Walmart full basket full. I'll send you pics. Yeah, man. Send them up, man. I love that stuff, man. Keep hustling. That's what's up. Walmart's on fire right now with their clearance. What should news sellers scan besides books? Whatever you can sell. And I mean that wholeheartedly, because if you're a new seller, you're going to be gated in a lot of items. But the key is to find the items you're not gated in, find profitable items of those items, pick them up, and sell them. That's what I would say. Scan everything. That way, like my boy RG Slotwin says, that way you can make millions too. What makes Amazon better than eBay? Volume. Now, I don't think Amazon is per se better than eBay. There's 6-figure eBay sellers and quite frankly 7-figure sellers on eBay. There's a lot of people that make a lot of money on eBay. For me, and the way I like to sell volume. And when you compare, $20 million company with a $200 billion company, and I don't even know if those statistics are right, but I just know that eBay's revenue is here and Amazon's revenue is, way up here. I like to go with the bulk sellers of Amazon. So let me see. Home and garden is my favorite. Yeah, listen, I love home, health and beauty. I like beauty when I'm in Marshalls and Home Goods and TJ Maxx. Richie H, aka Mr. Hustles. Did you create an LLC for your FBA business? I do have an LLC. Yes, I did. I started out as a sole proprietor and then transitioned to an LLC. Recommendation on a label maker. So right now I use the Dymo. I have 2 Dymos, one for the small labels to put on products, and I also have a shipping label Dymo maker. Can you tell us when you started selling on Amazon? What did you sell? Any examples? Yep, Thanks for the question, Heather. So yeah, so like I said earlier, I did start selling books, and once I sold enough books to start selling an RA, I started transitioning to retail arbitrage. So I sold books until I sold $1,000 worth of books, and then after I sold $1,000 worth of books, I took $100 and I started dipping into the clearance aisle. I started like basically snowballing that, and the rest is history. Tip for new sellers: scan things in home, gun carry, and you will see what you sell out of. Yep. Can you make a video on the process of packaging and shipping? Yeah, so I am working on a video on packing and shipping, but it does involve, to show you a comprehensive video, it does involve me showing you products that I'm selling. So I'm not willing to release that video until these items sell, which will be soon. But I am making that video so that way when I do release these items, I'm not on the listing and you guys can see my process. So, guys, I'll take one more question and then I am going to head out for the night. I love doing question and answer. I would love to do this again on a weekly basis. Maybe I can set something up so that way we can have something consistent, maybe more on the weekends. Might be better, maybe Sunday evenings or something like that. I might set something up. Let me know what day is best for everybody. I tend to think Sunday nights are really good, kind of like after dinner or whatever. And I appreciate all of you being here. And I definitely appreciate everyone who smashed that like button, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks again, Logan, for that super chat. You number one. That was the first super chat I ever got. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Guys, I'm going to head out to dinner. Doesn't look like there's any more questions. I appreciate all of you. I hope all of you are going to crush it this Q4. And keep hustling. Keep doing your thing. Don't give up. Scan everything. Hustleaholics. We're out. Thanks, everybody. Peace out.